is this mess? So I have been trying to film a bunch of videos today and they're not working, so I decided to scrap them and try something different. Today's Sunday, so I'm doing plant maintenance. I usually do plant maintenance on Sunday. I have some Hoya that I have been meaning to check the soil on. I think it's too much orchid bark, and the Hoyas themselves are actually thriving. I have my DS70, which is thriving, but when I water it, water just goes straight through it, which is kind of the point, I think. So I'm just kind of going to check that to see if it is in fact too much orchid bark. I might just top it up with a little bit of houseplant soil. And then I also have my Crimson Queen, and I can see the roots on top. They're very healthy, but they shouldn't be there. I've noticed recently that the soil has really settled in that one. So I'm going to kind of point out a few things and just add some stuff to the soil. I'm bottom watering as well because I have a fantastic case of fungus gnats around here. So I'm just kind of doing a little bit of plant maintenance, and hopefully let's see about this guy. So this is my Hoya DS70. It has fuzzy leaves, so I definitely know it's not a bilobata, which it was sold to me as, but it was cheap, so whatever. This guy has absolutely exploded since I put it in my southern facing window. It does have some sun stress on the leaves. I don't mind it. They come in kind of red. It's kind of hard to see, sorry. Let's see. It's kind of dark. That's okay, whatever. But this guy has orchid bark out the wazoo, and it's really hard to tell if it needs more water. Yeah, not all of it's even wet. Ugh. This is just the orchid bark that I have fished off the top of the soil. So these are just some gigantic chunks of orchid bark that I pulled off the top of my soil. Off the top. I haven't dug in really a whole lot, but it makes it hard to get the moisture meter in there to see what's going on. Okay, that one is in there, so I don't want to disturb that. I'm just gonna leave it as is. I watered it. It's sitting in a plastic tray, and it had actually been sitting in a plastic tray for probably 3 hours. And most of the time when I bottom water like that, at about 3 hours, especially for a pot this size, I think this is a 6-inch pot, the soil will have it'll be at least slightly damp. I stuck my moisture meter in here, it was dry. And I'm trying to be really careful because there's a lot of really nice, new, delicate growth that I don't want to disturb. So I'm just going to top this up with a little bit of soil. I think when I repotted my Hoyas when I potted my Hoyas up the first time, this guy probably got all the orchid bark and the other ones got like a little bit or none at all. Hopefully that'll be fine for this guy. He's doing really well, and I wanted to keep it that way. And I know that Hoya really likes to dry out in between watering, so it wasn't really a big issue for that guy. So let's look at my Hoya Crimson Queen. And I'm gonna get some close-up footage of this actually real quick before I do anything else. And you see those like white and green stripes on the very top of the soil here? Those are roots. So I let this guy get pretty dry, and it is in a really nice loose mix, but you don't want your roots to be showing. So I'm going to add a couple handfuls of soil to the top of this. Okay, so I'm just gonna top this up with a little bit of soil, but it's like still bone dry, even though this has been sitting in water basically for the past 3 hours. And I probably should be more patient because bottom watering takes more time, but whatever. I just don't want my roots to be exposed unless it's on an orchid, because then they don't care. So I'm just trying to cover up my roots and keeping the dirt off the leaves and stems as much as possible. It's not going to work very well because this is a fairly small, compact pot. Anyway, so this Hoya actually lives in my north-facing window. I moved it recently and it has just exploded with growth. I think that it was getting too much sun in my southern-facing window, and some of the leaves that were coming out were kind of misshapen and then they would just fall off. Yeah, there's a lot of orchid bark in here. I'm not gonna add any more. So I'm just kind of, I just need to, I think I just need to like take this guy into the shower and rinse him off, like I did with my calathea. But it's kind of flimsy on some of these older leaves, and you want them to be pretty stiff. You don't want to be able to bend them very well. So it's not getting, it needs watered is basically what I'm saying, and I need to figure out how to fix that. So I'm gonna try to bottom water this and see if it works better. So it's just in a plastic tray, and I'm just going to fill the tray up with some water and see if it will absorb any of it. It's been sitting in a tray of water for a while, but it wasn't absorbing any of it, and I don't know if that's a me thing or if it's a plant thing or what. So thanks for joining me. I will let you know if this little experiment works out, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.